Hey y'all, in this video I'm going to show you the 8 mistakes you must avoid while using a Kamado Style Grill so that even as a beginner you can soon become an expert. Kamado grilling is effortless, but it can be very challenging if you make these mistakes. Number 8 is not starting with a clean grill. So we want to do a couple things. One, we want the grates to be clean. Okay, sometimes we have so much grease, so much juices left over from a previous smoke or a cook that it'll produce off flavors. And so sometimes we have to do what's called a deep cleaning, a deep burn. And basically on that is we will end up cooking at a high temperature, 550 degrees to 600 degrees, and cooking for an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours. Letting it cook, letting it burn all those juices off. One thing we want to make sure we do is clean the ash pot. The ash pot is right behind here, and a lot of the Kamado style grills, you actually have to get to it from inside. So you have to take that top grate off and take all the charcoal out. Mine is real nice. It has a couple screws right here, and then I can lift it up, come on, and pull it right out. You can see I've already emptied mine. But you want to do this because this, if it's got stuff in there, that's blocking your airflow. Hi y'all, Don here with Southern Backyard Cooking. If you're enjoying my video, please take a second, hit that subscribe button, ring that bell, and give me a big thumbs up. All right, y'all, counting down. We're at number 7 now. So the 7th largest mistake is not waiting for clear smoke. If you have gray or smoky smoke like this, and you're trying to gonna smoke some food or anything, wait till this turns a clear smoke. What it's doing is right now, all the grease, drippings, or anything that's come from any of the foods that you've cooked in the past are actually burning off, and that's what you see in this smoke, this grayish smoke. You want it to be a clear smoke so that we don't get off flavors transferring to our meats. All right, on now to mistake number 6, and that's not using a quality lump charcoal. Do not use charcoal briquettes. Get a quality lump charcoal. I prefer the Cowboy brand. The Cowboy brand is not an expensive brand. This I pick up at a local hardware store, 15 pounds, and it usually runs about $15. There are several of them you can get online that 20 pounds is $30, $35. They're real good. The lump charcoal you're gonna use sounds expensive compared to charcoal briquettes. The big difference in this is whatever I have left over in my grill after I finish cooking, I will just add some more on top of that and reuse it. So I get full usage out of the lump charcoal. And that way it's really not any more expensive. All right, on to mistake number 5. And that's not adjusting the vents properly. So when I first started up, I have my vents bottom and top completely open. Once I get past the preheat, depending on what temperature I want to cook at, I want to close these somewhat. At the top, it'll actually say, and down at the bottom on mine, it says smoke, grill, and sear. Sear is fully open. Smoke is almost closed. And on the bottom, same way, almost closed. But grilling, for the most part for me, I like using my Kamado to grill. So in most cases, I'm gonna have it set right in the middle and somewhere in the middle on there, and I'm gonna grill at about 350 to 450 degrees. All right, this leads us to not preheating long enough. So when we go to preheat, the first thing we do, we add some of our lump charcoal. We're gonna start it. We can start it with either fire starters. I like to use my electric heater. So I'm just gonna put this down and have charcoal on top of it. Now this Cowboy charcoal, it's got good sized pieces, and that's what you want. Because the larger these pieces are, the longer it's gonna burn. So at this point in time, I would actually plug this up and get it started heating. We want to preheat usually 15-20 minutes at most, sometimes only 10 minutes. The big key you don't want to do in preheating and starting your charcoal is do not ever use lighter fluid. If I'm going to use some of these briquettes, these fire starters, just break a couple of these off, put them in different spots, and these will light up real easily. Mistake number 3 is using too much charcoal. I have in here, you could actually fill this almost all the way up. Basically, you just need enough charcoal in there to finish whatever the cook is you're going to have. I generally, because I use mine for grilling, I generally put about this much in, which is about 1/3 of the way full. All right, mistake number 2 is not practicing and getting familiar with your Kamado grill. What by that I mean is you need to cook several times. You need to determine where are my hot spots, where are the cooler areas. Am I starting the fire in the center of all the charcoal, or am I starting it on the outsides? That'll determine a lot of that. Mine, for example, mine is hotter on the very back and in the center. The front area is a little cooler. Even when I have a temperature dial of 350 degrees, it's still going to be the same thing. In the back, it's hotter. In the front, it's not quite so hot. So if I need to sear something, get my sear marks on my steaks or anything, I'm going to put it right over the center or center to rear. And then once I want to cook it and cook it a little slower, I'm going to pull them to the front. Of all the mistakes, the biggest mistake everybody makes is cooking by time or sight. Don't do this. Cook by internal temperature. Get a wireless thermometer or get a instant read digital thermometer. That way you can tell and push it in and see what the internal temperature is. Nothing I hate worse than cooking a real good filet. I usually buy them about 1.5 inches, 2 inches thick. I like mine medium. My wife likes hers medium well. My wife really gets upset when hers is medium to medium rare. Looking at the outside, it looks like it's done. Without checking the internal temperature, you can't tell. When you start looking at cooking chicken and doing pork chops and stuff, chicken needs to cook to an internal temperature of 165. So you need to have some kind of thermometer to check this. I hope you enjoyed my video. If you did, make sure you do subscribe to my channel. Ring that bell. Give me that big thumbs up. And until next time, guys, y'all have a great one.